Hello, so these are my results for designing the 4 controllers on MATLAB for the lab final. First, the proportional control. I designed this by using the PID function on MATLAB and using these sliders. I had the integral control or integration control and derivative control set to 0. And I found that when I set the proportional constant to 1.4, I got this root locus plot and unit step response, which has a percent overshoot of 76.2%. And I also got the settling time of 2.29 seconds, which is in the requirement. For the PI controller, I designed this again by using my PID sliders. I set the derivative control to 0, and I found that when I set the proportional control to 1.8 and the integration control to 0.3, I got a response curve like this, which met the requirements. It got a 84.9% overshoot, which was just under the requirement of 85%. And I got a settling time of 2.77 seconds. And this is my transfer function for the PI controller. For the third one, the lead controller, I designed this by referring back to lab 4, the transfer function of this circuit. And I used this transfer function for the controller and these constants for A and B. Here for the lead compensator, I kept these resistors and this capacitor constant like in the lab, but I tuned RC like here. I tuned RC until I got a response curve that fit the requirement. So for the lead controller, this was my step response and polar plot, or root locus, sorry. And I got a percent overshoot of 16.5% and a settling time of 0.81 seconds, which fit the requirement. For the PID controller, I again used my sliders for the PID constants. I found that when I set the proportional control to 1.2, the integration control to 0.2, and the derivative control to 0.066, I was able to get this response curve, which at first I didn't get this because I tuned it to a different set of constants that looked right here on this graph, but when I plotted it on the SISO tool, it didn't have the correct settling time, so I have to tune it a little bit by moving the zeros, and this is what I ended up with, and this is my transfer function for the PID controller. And yeah, it looks like I've met all the requirements here, and yeah, that's my data. Thank you so much.